setting new standards in podcast excellence. You have joined the WBT, fully focused on business and taxes. Here is your host, Michael Lodge.
Well, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be. This is Mike Lodge on the WBT. I'm glad that you've joined me. So what is our conversation going to be? What's going to be about something that you probably have often wondered exactly what are these tax brackets? So I'm going to go through a little bit and try to explain to you how tax brackets work. But first, I'll be right back.
This is brought to you by Lodge & Co., a business and tax advisory firm where your success is our goal. Call us today toll-free at 888-681-1518 or visit us at www.lodge-co.com and learn more about what we can do for you. Lodge & Co., your source for sound business and tax services.
So how many of you paid any attention to the House impeachment hearing? I guess it really isn't even a hearing, it's just an inquiry. It's kind of like the National Enquirer, I guess. All going by hearsay, rumors. So it's not a hearing, it's an inquiry. So we haven't even gotten to the true hearings yet. But now people want to trick you about that. But yesterday to me, I'm gonna be very honest with you. It was so much of a day of nothing that I learned nothing. All that I know is that people heard stuff. Somebody's staffer heard somebody over the phone. Went on the phone call, but they could hear his voice in the room on the phone. Then you had two career diplomats from the State Department who has never met the president, never talked to the president, hasn't even talked to him on the phone call, was not on the phone call. That is what everybody's talking about. So we had hearsay. I hate hearsay. I pulled up this quote today on hearsay. Let me tell you what it says. Just one second. As I find it on my phone, which I can never operate because I'm really bad at trying to find things on the phone because there's too much on the phone. There's too many buttons on the phone. Let me tell you what it says. It said about 90% of what's out there in cyberspace and in this world is hearsay or lies and opinion, often misinformed opinion. And it's all repeated, over and over again. That's by David Tang. And I have to tell you that he's absolutely right, because I tell you in mediation, when people come into me to get disputes and conflicts resolved, a lot of the time it's all about what he or she heard or said, and it came from another person that told another person. And then finally I have to break it down and get everybody down to the truth of what the issue really is. Well, yesterday that's what we heard. We heard a lot of people with a lot of opinions and a lot of rumor and a lot of hearsay. And to me, it's totally worthless when you have that because you're not getting to the truth. Take it from me as a mediator. You have to get down to the nitty-gritty truth in order to resolve any issue. But if you want to build a problem up, you bring in hearsay, you bring in rumors, you bring in all this nonsense to try to build your case, but in actuality, it's nonsense. And that's what we heard yesterday was a lot of nonsense. And I think that we, as a country, we have to be very careful about this type of. In fact, there was even that Democratic congressman who said, hearsay is good. It's a good form of evidence. And I'm telling you, as an individual who has to deal with hearsay in mediation and conflict resolution, it's not good. Because it's just nonsense. Until you get down to the nitty-gritty of what the issues is. So yesterday we had no individual bringing forth any type of crime. Now they use words that sounded criminal, but they're not a crime because they were not able to prove it in any way, shape, or form yesterday. So we're back to where we're at. If you hate Trump, you hate Trump. If you love Trump, you love Trump. Nothing has changed. No one has moved. Because what we heard yesterday was nothing but nonsense. Nothing but nothing. We might have been watching the Seinfeld show, which was a show about nothing, which was yesterday's show. Now, I would have loved to have heard some new information, but I did not hear anything. So I'm still at the same spot I am, and I'm sure that you are too. Haven't made up our minds. I mean, I've made up my mind, and I'm moving on. But a lot of people are just hoping that something gushy is going to come out of this. That's going to be mind-blowing to the whole experience. But I'm afraid that you're going to be disappointed throughout this whole impeachment process. Is that it's going to be a show about nothing. And that's where we stand at the moment, in my view anyway. You can take it or leave it. I don't care. You can hate me or love me. I don't care at this moment. Because I'm so fed up with it that I probably will not listen to the other impeachment hearings. Because yesterday was not it for me. Just didn't do it. So anyway, so let's understand what the 2020 tax brackets are really all about. It's funny how we went from impeachment to tax brackets. We really know how to pick our subjects here, don't we? So, first of all, the United States has a progressive tax system. Now, progressive means that the tax rates that we file our tax returns off of increases as taxpayers' income increases. So if your income goes up, your tax brackets change, okay? And so that's how when you're looking at your tax returns and you say, how come I owe so much? Well, your tax bracket changed. So this progressive tax system is how it works. Now, I don't mind the progressive tax system. It's doing its job at the moment. Some people would like to go to a national sales tax. But this progressive one is on a sliding scale on what basis your income. So the only the income that falls within a particular tax bracket's range is taxed at that corresponding rate. Another thing that we need to keep in mind when we're talking about tax brackets is tax brackets only apply your taxable income. They only apply your taxable income, which is what's left over after subtracting your standard or itemized deductions, plus any other adjustments according to the tax code that you're using that applies to you. So let's take a look. Let's do an example here so that you're not so confused. So say that after all your deductions are taken, all of your itemized deductions, your standard deduction, whichever apply to you, and you are left with $55,000 in taxable income for the year, or in business we like to call that net income. Following the tax brackets applied by the federal government, the IRS, the first $9,875 of income is taxed at 10%, meaning you will pay $987.50 on that amount. The next $30,250 of income, that is the income between $9,876 and $40,125, is taxed at 12%, meaning you will pay $3,630 on income falling in that range. And then we look at the final part of it, and that is the remaining $14,875. The income above the $40,125 is taxed at 22%, meaning that you will pay $3,272.50 on that income. Add up all those tax amounts, the $987.50, the $3,630, and the $3,272.50, and you end up with a total taxable liability of $7,890. Okay? So that's basically how it works. It's a sliding scale. So the more money that you make, the percentages go up. So when you go to your accountant and he's talking about, well, you're in tax bracket XYZ, now you know that the higher the tax bracket that you go, the higher the taxes you're going to pay. That's why I always tell you, and I've been warning you guys, these tax brackets change. The IRS just came out with the new published tax brackets and the tax rates. So right now would be a good time for you to sit down with your accountant. Listen, we're in November, going into December pretty soon. You've got a month and a half to call your tax practitioner and go over what you've earned thus far and what you need to plan for the remaining of the year and what you need to do for 2020. Okay? So, I told you also that you needed to fill out a new W-4 after you've talked to your tax practitioner. You're being warned right up front that you need to be proactive on your tax returns. At the end of the year, and you owe money, you have to point to yourself because you did not take advantage of some time to adjust your income tax withdrawals. You know, it's so easy to point fingers at other people. Well, no one told me. Well, I'm telling you right now that it's your responsibility to be proactive on your tax issues. Sit down with your tax practitioners right now and go over it. You have time. Don't wait until the end of December to do it. Right now you're in November where you need to make some adjustments. Need to take maybe a little bit more out, maybe leave a little bit more in, depending on where you stand at the moment, but you won't know until you talk to your tax practitioner. Remember, you have this sliding scale, and I'm sure that a lot of you, your income has come up. I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's come up. But if your income has changed at all in the course of the year, you're going to have to make some adjustments. That's how it works. The sliding scale affects your income because your income is sliding up and down. Be proactive. So I think that hopefully that kind of explains to you, and I hope you understand how this progressive income tax works and the tax rates work, okay? I want you to go out there and also look at what the new tax rates are out there, because they have changed, and the IRS just came out with its new numbers. So your accountant will know what those new numbers are and how it's going to affect you. You see how important it is? When the IRS changes, you have to change. When the IRS changes its numbers, you have to change your numbers too. Because remember now, you have lost a lot of those itemized deductions that you used to be able to take. Employee business expenses, etc. They're all gone. So you have to adjust when the IRS adjusts. Okay? Got it? If you have any questions or if you have any comments, send me a text. It's very simple to send me a text at 818-252-5682. They all go into a holding tank in our computer, and I can look at them and I can answer them very quickly. Once again, that's 818-252-5682. I can even attach documents to them for your needs. Again, this is Mike Lodge. Everybody go out and have a great day. Be proactive on everything that you do, and you will end the year in a positive note. Talk with you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the WBT with Michael Lodge. Join us again tomorrow as we explore more about business and taxes. Follow us on iHeartRadio and go to our podcast website at www.wbtpod.com and listen to all of our podcasts and read our blogs.
This podcast has been produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content.